It's time for some FACEIT League. It's upper bracket finals. We are in the final week here for expert division. It is playoff week. We have got upper bracket finals, lower bracket semis, finals, and then grand finals all happening this week. You'll have upper bracket finals and lower bracket semifinals happening simultaneously here tonight. Your top two teams currently, two teams made it all the way through winner's bracket. Haven't dropped a series yet here in playoffs. Gotta get this upper bracket finals on stream. Tanuki Tapire taking on Iliad Helios here tonight. One of two Iliad squads still remaining here in top four. We are down to top four. We had Helios and Artemis from the Iliad squad on either side of the upper bracket semifinals. Helios barely able to take that dub over Villains. That putting Helios into upper bracket finals here. And then down to lower bracket, Wizard Cats able to take their 3-2, moving them into the lower bracket semis. Going up against Artemis here tonight. We still have the potential for an all-Iliad grand finals that is in the cards as of right now. But this Helios squad, this brand new Helios squad that just kind of seemingly came out of nowhere this season. Came in and put up a hell of a season, including a big win over their sister squad and what has been kind of the front runner of the Iliad org here at FACEIT League. Put up that big win in, like week 3, I guess that was. And that's when I really started to take notice. That was the one that really opened my eyes. They also turned around and put up a win against Brock that same week and beat Villains in Jurassic the week following. All of those were good wins. Brock no longer in the tournament, but that was a very strong squad. And then Villains and Jurassic, both top 8 finishers here. Actually, yeah, Villains is 9, excuse me. But still, Villains ended up top 6 as far as in playoffs. So, for all extensive purposes, both, top 8 teams, both high end of expert division here. So, and that was when I really looked to start taking notice of this Helios team. It's like, oh, okay, they're putting up some big wins. Captained by Nyanza. In that last match we saw was just an absolute dominant force on the Soch. I believe plays under plays on streamer tag or something. So Nyanza, if I remember correctly, will be the one that we don't recognize in game. Tanuki Tapire, more recently, or until recently, excuse me, known as First Flame Heatwave. And had that squad. Happy Tanuki Tapire FACEIT Day to all who celebrate Citizen Parish. Nice, nice. This squad had been a dominant force through expert through their, the entirety of their time here, which is, the entirety of my time here. What had been known as the Heatwave squad was always a top contender, at least in regular season. Had notoriously struggled in playoffs. So looking at their debut season back in season 2 of, it's like July of 2024, third place overall, only dropping 3 series, then kind of bow out a little bit earlier than anticipated in playoffs. We're looking at a very similar story in season 3, kind of at the end of 2024. And once again, the Heatwave squad this time going out 0-2 and kind of bowing out a little bit earlier once again than I would anticipate. All that to say, coming into season 4, not only are they able to put up a 14-2 season, losing only to, let's see, who they lose, Spark and Villains? No, Artemis. They actually beat Spark. They lost to Artemis and Foxtails. That's right, the random loss to Agave Foxtails, which, much stronger than they were in previous seasons, but still, it was still a 10-16 that handed Tapire their second loss. Definitely buffed up. No, and that was kind of part of what the story is leading up to, is what a turnaround here coming in 2025. Not only are Tapire able to perform well and consistently in regular season, which they had always done, where they had fell short in the postseason before, have been outstanding. Have been absolutely outstanding here in season 4. You only put up 1 playoff win in all of 2024 for that Heatwave roster. You are now find yourself in the upper bracket finals and a trip into Master Division for the first time. So, an outstanding year already here for the Tapire squad. I'm excited to see how far it can go. Up against these upstarts of Helios. If we're looking back at the head-to-head, the previous head-to-head was looking to be a pretty one-sided match in favor of Tapire. So again, previously known as Heatwave. So this is the same roster. Now, there have been a lot of changes from that from 2024. Dimitri, I believe, is the only carryover if memory served. Spingar may have been on that roster actually as well. But, you know, we're not seeing Ducio, most importantly, who had captained the team before. We're not seeing, you know, Kirito has gone over to Sienna Heights and is not playing DPS versus roster anymore. So there's been some changes from the previous roster, but you know what? Seems to be all for the better for this particular squad. Is they have found the magic here this year. Now, one game away from grand finals and conquering, you know, being one trip away from the championship and the opportunity, the honor to prove themselves is conquering all of Expert Division. Surely, Manoa says the Magic Queen doesn't go crazy. Surely. I don't know. I don't know about any of that. And don't call me Shirley. Magically went crazy last time we had Helios on stream. I mean, it's Magically and Nans are the ones lighting up the feed. I mean, as you might expect, that's not uncommon. I mean, it's your Sojourner in your tank. But, I mean, you know, we're able to dish out the hurt. In particular, when it comes to Junker Queen, it's a very mechanically demanding tank role. You know, it is a little bit more in the mechanics. Of course, you do still have a lot of the brain of playing tank. That's just part of playing tank. Particularly when it comes to pacing and engagement timing. But, you know, you got to have that mechanics with Junker Queen a little bit more so than, say, you know, Ramantra or something. So, maybe even Hazard. Junker Queen, very mechanically demanding. But if you can make the most of a JQ, God, we've seen it here. We've seen it here all season long. Like, nasty JQs are not to be underestimated. All right, I'm guessing the Ramantra banned out from Helios. Cassidy banned out from Tapire. Virtual put his house on the Preds. I saw that bet. Nobody wants to take that value bet. That's a big value bet. Hey, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Time for map one. Show me some Overwatch. Okay, JG. Thank you for the follow. I wasn't trying to go on top of the entrance, but that's okay. You know how we got there in the end. Okay. So far to the Tapire, kind of playing here through White Rosario. I was kind of getting situated here for a moment. Where lives, you know, random screenshot to lock in. I was getting my audio because I felt like my audio levels were a little off here, so I was just kind of getting that all situated for you. Looking for a re-engage back onto this point. Gemini. Looking for a squishy target to focus down. We'll settle for a little damage on a Magically. It's LCS who actually faces the Broad. So Magically now pushing in with no Lucio, just hoping to trade it out. Alongside of Kua, they're actually able to find Virtual, but now they're kind of stuck behind enemy lines here. This will be the cap going back over to Tapire. Oh, Knockfred. I love the Ducks as well. Huge congrats once again. Is it insider trading if I bet on my own team? Absolutely not, Dimitri. Put your money where your mouth is. Blamble clutch, says OKJG, first time chatter. Consider rush, toss in by fives. And then, ooh, Gemini gets caught, cut down by Nyanza just as the grab comes out. So there's not enough follow-up there. Wu is trying to do something with the barrage, but I can't hit the right button, and Wu can't find any kills. Random screenshot to lock in. Command screenshot. Pure scouting has been super clean. Can't argue with that. Magically pushing Spingar back just as Hex is trying to push with the rally, creating a nice little disconnect. Well played by Magically, but it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade when it's all said and done, with the sound barrier expended here from Helios. Not much left in the pocket of Tapire. They're backing on to the point. Helios have had control throughout this whole thing. My camera doing fun stuff. Nyanza, oh, cut down by Spingar's overclock. Orbital thrown onto the point. They're from Tapire. They're going to chase down Magically, and it Magically ends up getting swarmed here on the opposite side of the pillar. Tapire get the flip, much needed with 87% picked up. Wizard Ducks. I have some Wizard Ducks, but shh. Leaks. Hey, you know what? That's why you come to the stream. You get the leaks. Oh, Spingar finds Akua. Even through the Kitsune Rush, that speed was not enough. Spingar's able to track it. Just deny the blade before it's ever unsheathed. Gemini throws a Graviton into this. That's 3 caught in the grab. Pretty massive grab. With the bubble thrown in, Hex is trying to hammer through it all, and Magically is eventually wrestled down. It took a bit, which honestly ends up being a good thing for Tapire, as they're building percentage the whole time. So they win the fight. They'll end up tying us up, sending us very close into final fight. Good. Look at this. See if they can find the blade this time. We finally get it unsheathed. Hey, you can cut through Hex immediately. Nice move. You take the rally off the table. Remove the rally at about 8% away. So, worth the wait. Ooh, but is it enough to win the fight? It doesn't look like it. Spingar, Gemini were unfazed. While Kuo was off chopping through the brig, they were chopping through the entire rest of Helios. We'll get to Tapire with an opening round here on Control Center. They'll start off 1-0 on Lijiang. Okay, 5 into an Ana on the attack with Akua taken to the skies for the Echo. No changes out of Tapire. Magically wanted to hold in that hallway side, but ends up just shouting away. As soon as Gemini puts any pressure on, Helios rotate over to the point. I don't see... Okay, I mean, we see the shots coming in from Akua. Where is Nyanza on this? Okay, Nyanza is still holding back in hotel, or hallway. This is, oh, a free first cap. Oh, a bit of a mistake there. LCS took a lot of damage. Wasn't able to stay on the point to deny the cap, although Magically surges forward to immediately find Spingar and get the point right back. So, only a momentary mistake on the back of that, but Magically now taking a lot of damage to fall back into cover. Nade has to be used defensively. Helios getting a little split, trying to regroup. Caught Hex on the outside a little bit, but both of them and Magically will fall back. 5 ends up completely separated, though, in the opposite corner, hunted down the line by Wu. And the DPS from Helios really never able to get involved into that fight. Never really finding an angle into that fight. Spingar's the best player ever? All right, let's get some Spingar Pov. Let's get some Spingar Pov. I mean, I assume y'all just saw that shutdown. What y'all just saw with the OCs. Ooh. Nice use of the cart to avoid the worst of the pool. There's a nano boost thrown on him magically. I mean, gets thwarted. Gets thwarted. Great peel out of Tapire to protect that right-hand flank. Lue's gonna drop a barrage in. Drift thrusters lean into two pieces of names, two pieces of meat. But I don't even know where I was going with that. A two-piece. 2 kills. 2-piece chicken, like lunch at KFC. Fried, served up platter of justice. Something of like, I don't know, something like that. I'm telling you, it's like 85 degrees in this office, all right? It's getting my brain is getting a little weird. Sound barrier engage coming out. Dulling the OC a little bit. Magically gets 2 with the carnage. LCS does not last with the sound barrier. And even though it was a huge rampage and a great start there for Helios, Tapire able to survive through. They cut down the shields. They cut down Iliad. Tapire should have the tools to hold. Let's see. You do have LCS on the flank side, on the coast side. Not able to get all the point. Tapire will walk away with Lijiang. Spingar on top. Can't argue with that. All right, Helios, where are you taking us for map 2? Going to Suravasa. Yep, no surprise, no surprise. Are we going to get a tank ban to protect the JQ? This would be a good map to ban out the JQ. Suravasa, Esperanca seem to be the two prime spots to try to ban out a Junker Queen against a JQ player. I was sleeping when I saw a strange figure in the corner of my room. It looked like a ghost. When I turned on the lights, I saw it was none other than Helios. I was scared for a second, but then I mentioned that a big match was coming soon. They've vanished. Churches, Popeyes, or KFC? Honestly, probably... Ooh. Probably churches. I tend to go more local than any of the big chains if I'm going... If I really... I try not to eat much fried food, but... Okay, it's a Juno ban from Helios. They are going to start us off in the red outlines as well, so I'm going to go ahead and swap the teams over for you. Take a look at some stats here from map 1. And it should be about time to close out Preds. How are we looking on that? Yep, perfect. I'm starting to get this down. Getting that inner clock going. Let's see. PP works. You also have points, please, works. GM also works for good map. Yeah. I have many ways for y'all to remind me to not forget the gambits. I was just, yeah. All my commands are working. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Old man learned how to use stream elements. What do you know? Okay. I hope those stats were very interesting to y'all. I did not really get a chance to look them over. I looked pretty dominant. Looked pretty dominant. Gemini and Karma taking over. All right, let's go check what was the... It was the JQ ban. So absolutely, this is a great map to ban off the Junker Coin. No surprise there. Hey, Juice, thank you for the 5 biddies. I appreciate you. Okay, full change of styles for both of our squads. We're going into the Ramatra here. We saw this in EMEA as well. So it ends up just being a very sustain-oriented kind of fight. Tire rotations, you can see Spingar fighting for a little bit of position on that left-hand side, but gets forced back out. But all the while, magically taking a lot of damage and has to give up on this high ground position. Akua trades themselves for Hex. Actually, a wonderful trade. This is a massive speed advantage, and even though first cap is going to go over to Tapire, this speed advantage could have gotten leveraged, or can get leveraged. Would have gotten leveraged. Could have got leveraged had the kills that come through. Excuse me. Kirkle says, lock in for this map. I bet the kids' college fund on y'all. %towards this nano boost. Is touch behind Virtual on the other side. Kitsune Rush immediately thrown onto the point. This allows Tapire to hold on to this objective. Getting to a for sure last opportunity for Helios to take this opening map of market, opening flashpoint of market rather. Nianta's gonna pick up a kill. Magically receives said nano boost. Goes all the way across to the stair side high ground. Turns around to punch Gemini in the back a couple of times. Thrice to be precise. We'll get Helios at the flip. We're looking at dueling sound barriers. We're looking at dueling annihilations here. Timing can be critical, particularly when it comes to this blade. Yeah, Molten 4 coming out first, no surprise. Let's go back into that blade. 2 quick slices onto Hex. Denies the sound barrier. Beautiful play. You take a bet, hoping that they do not have an up in time, that maybe even ideally you get to cancel it, but you keep it out of the fight, at least this one. They're not able to duel the blade with the sound barrier. Furthermore, Helios are just kind of systematically working this one. They're able to throw their own sound barrier in late to fend off the annihilation. Magically, you should be able to play after the end of all this, but Gemini does go down. Magically, annihilation enough to pull it back. Health bars are looking pretty good here for Tanuki. Virtual does get withered away. Nianta caught. Very broken fight, very messy fight on the point. So we're going to get a very late nano boost tossed in, ensure this cap from Helios. Rob Gronk, thank you for the follow. Hey, was that anti-symbol new? I felt like that was new. It was a huge anti from 5 either way. Unfortunately, they can't keep Magic alive through the, through the counterpunch there. Twins only gets themselves. Spingar's still purple there in the back. Fives is just hitting nades left and right. But this Consider Rush does give some free percentage here over to Tapire to start things off. Gemini trying to chase some stragglers up onto the top of the stairs. But magically, and looks like the core of Helios have looped back around to this corner. We're gonna fight at the pillars. Ooh, venture from Wu Wei. I didn't even catch it until I heard them say surprise. I've been playing a lot of Venture lately myself. Such a fun hero. The burst damage is just insane. And the Venture has such a unique rhythm to the hero. There you go, and that kind of setup, that's exactly what you're looking for. Ripcoats never saw it coming. Don't underestimate the damage from the emerge off of that burrow either. 5 gets the brunt of it, and what a great swap. Tapire absolutely catching Helios off guard with this one. Wu Wei comes up with another 3-piece, and Tapire will take the second point. Beautiful swap. Once again, watch Wu Wei's setup. These setups are so good. This is exactly what you want to do. Immediate excavation coming out. A lot of early damage, and here comes the pressure from the other side. With that one ultimate, Tapire will secure first cap. As Gemini finishes off LCS, and despite having 5 check marks, Helios never get a chance to use them. Another fantastic ambush, but Wu Wei ends up isolated, separated, and bit off more than they can chew. An opening here for Helios to come back in and leverage this ultimate. So this is going to be a colorful fight. Open it up with the OCs. Let's go in with Nyanza there. Sound barrier coming in from both teams. Nano boost thrown onto Akua. There's actually a nano blade in play. I guess alongside magically able to pick up 2. If they were running in tandem onto this point. And that's the difference maker. After all the pretty lights calm down, the pretty colors fade. Nothing but red and Spartans of the Iliad Helios left standing here on Palace. Almost called it Fountain. Venture's got burst damage, but they don't have that much burst damage. You're not going to 1v5 it. Did by got a 62%. What is the ego stack USD conversion rate? Great question, Peasy. Wu Wei used the burrow to get in there. Maybe he just got greedy with it. Either way, it's a big purple. And the attack just falls flat. It kind of gets stopped shy before it really got close. Kind of broke on the shore like a wave. We got a nano magically somewhere off the point. Very separated fights going, like 3 separate little duels were all happening at the same time right there. Helios are going to get the reinforcements back up. Kurama won't last. But buys enough time. There's a Kitsune Rush engaged, and here comes the rest of the team. Kurama might have just done enough. The great sacrifice of Wu Wei the Venture here on Palace will not be forgotten. Ooh, magically is looking to end it all, though. It's a lot of low health bars all caught in the tendrils. Oh, and that's going to be a 4th going down. You hear Kurama coming through with tectonic shock. It is still active, but ripped out of the sky. Magically rips away that point from Tapire. That was nasty. Perfect use. Got, a lot of low health bars. No chance to recover with that big annihilation. Ah! LC has to go ahead and invest the beat in the back end of this blade. Chase down happens, but Spingar from the outside. That's the third for Spingar. So, kind of a bit of a ring around LaRosie with the beat blade used here from Helios. They will get first control, it looks like, with Kua still alive. Helios win the race, but just barely. They are getting reinforcements starting to show up. Danius defensively. Spingar over the top. Finds 5. Oh, another fish on Akua. Gets magically. Well, magically, I think, was just kind of incidental on that one. Was absolutely aiming at Nyanza. Hey, you take it. It'll be a good fight for Spingar. Yeah, turns out Spingar really is the GOAT. You know, y'all weren't wrong. Some great angles on this one to hold with an overclock as well. Magically with the nano. Attention here onto the front line. You have a cool work in the flank. Yeah, trying to keep Spingar from being able to throw that OC. Actually is going to take the OC off of the battlefield entirely. Magically won't survive that one. Drama drops it from above with the drill dash finish onto 5s. Akua does get a trade on the way out. Won't find much more than that. We get the reset here. I don't know if the reset was in time. That reset feels really late. They just needed to die. This is going to go to a 5th flashpoint. Which is, of course, simple. We're headed right next door. Tapire did not get much of a jump on this. Looks like we're going to get Nyanza on this rooftop. Okay, well, hiding underneath. And a decent defender's advantage. With an overclock to boot. Sound barrier thrown in there from Helios. Kind of helps fend off the tectonic shock. Magically able to work through virtual with a little help from the OC. But it is going to get picked off. Trying to just back straight away and nowhere to go. Jim and I looking to chase Nyanza out of this fight as well. But LCS still hanging out. Ooh, Spingar picking off this pick. That's going to take a lot of the sustain out. That might just do it. Akua invests the blade, even with 5s down and out in this fight. And once again, another just crazy, crazy fight with like 2 or 3 separate little duels going on across the flashpoint. Grandma setting up for those ambushes. Clocks at LCS trying to help on the flank war. Kua gets the nano, but now they do not have a Lucio to back them up. They are going to get the nice little slash through. Woo! Dash resets for days there for Kua with another quick 2-piece. Another trip to KFC. This one's going to flip right back over. Flashpoint, man. Suravasa is going the distance here. With Kitsune and OC and Overclock. I don't know. This is going to be a tough defense for Helios. And I think one more fight win could do this. Tapire looking for the 2-0 with an Overclock out of Spingar to start. Right in the face of Magically's annihilation. Magically is low, and the final shot will take them down. Good shot out of 5s, follow up with a beautiful crit. And Spingar's already got 2. Is going to slide away from the duel. Is not using the double slide, actually. He's using it overcharged in the adhesive siphon. Need the swap from Magically here to try to get back to this point. You got about 6 seconds to get a touch. They will not make it. A split second behind. Helios can't quite get there. Tapire now on a 2-0 lead. What was an extremely close map pick from Helios? All right, where are we going? Where are we going for map 3? Yeah, it's a good call, PZ. That's exactly right. Helios needed to play slow and build a pulse for that final fight. Here, don't let him. Yeah, good call. Havana picks, Sigma bad from Helios. Take a look at some stats from map 2. Felt like Spingar had a good map. It's Kurama though. The Venture pick, 25-2. Just shy of most damage in the lobby. But that pick was so instrumental, particularly in the early stages. In the early, like the first 2 or 3 flashpoints in particular. Oh, I'm sorry, Preds. I'm sorry those who lost Preds on that one. It was so close. It was so close. But as PC was saying, there is no Queen ban. Although that's one of the reasons I'm kind of surprised to see them pull out Havana here. You know, I might expect Esperanca. Havana does kind of seem to be like a pocket pick for teams. I know this is like an SRP check pocket pick. Whoops, wrong. Let's see. The Queen ban is from map 2. Let me let's get that updated. The ban out of Tapire was in fact a Lucio. Here on the defense, running a May Soj, pulling out Crummon's May here. Ramatra, the close hold, look to get 3 fights here out of this defense. Great wall and an early pick on him magically. So far, so good for said close hold. Wall comes up like that. It's just nothing you could do. Really good focus fire. And now, Helios know what they're dealing with. We see Kurama go, we see Nyanza go into the Ash. Teleport there across the way. So, Akua got a couple people teleported over. Was that magically? And just 5 that actually used that teleporter. But a good job of getting positioned inside of the post office. I actually really like that idea. Akua is going to go with a more traditional approach and come out the close side door, and this just gets kind of nasty here in the alley at Cuba. Several picks go in Helios' favor, though. They will break this open. It takes them about a minute. It's about average for a close hold, being honest here. Ah, and Parrish didn't get their Preds in time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They move pretty fast between maps. I don't want to leave it open for a full 5 minutes, you know? They move pretty quick. If they're open for like 3 minutes into a, first hold defense, that's not fair, Preds. Blizzard up here from Kurama. Right in the middle of the Kitsune rush as well. Nyanza perfectly towing the line, though. It, like, steps into the Blizzard with the Deadeye just as it's starting to fade, knowing the timing that they won't get frozen up. Try to min-max, get the skull in the back on the spin guard. Didn't quite work, but it was a clever little move. Kurama finds a great icicle into LCS. But still an orbital ray in play. Still plenty of sustain for the attacking team. And Akua is going to even the odds as far as players on this point. Both tanks kind of looking for some squishies at the moment. Crusher's able to find Kurama through all of that mess, despite having Gemini in their face. Gemini pops the Annihilation, trying to chase Nyanza out of there. Blade from Akua on the front line, and I think everybody's won their duels here for Helios. They did invest Orbital Ray. They really invested everything over the course of the final 2 fights, but particularly in that final sequence, you had 3 ults and 3 big ones with Blade, Orbital, and Rampage all thrown at that. As far as like the classic spawn hold break, like that is like the 2019 spawn hold Havana break. Just float on the rooftops is the Vara. And then, yeah, your Ana can sit very safe on that top high ground. Or at the back alley, traditionally. Barely had a chance to touch on. We've got a magically Hazard now in play after using a Rampage to cap point A. Level Mobile, it has been some very chaotic fights. The Hazard can thrive in those chaotic fights, really create mismatches in different spots around the map, when you have a lot of these different duels going on. Suddenly the Hazard can appear, create a 3v1. Trying to body block the heals onto the May and hope somebody can get that pick. That's an orbital thrown in right at this chokehold. Kurama didn't stand a chance. Orbital and Grav tossed in. Grav got one. Grav only got Nyanza. And the defense does not have a lot of staying power here. I think it's just... Okay, here comes some reinforcements. You see the outline showing back up. Downpour from Magically on the point. Akua was able to find one isolated target. And with a little help from the rest of the team, it looks like that will be enough. Just some good cleanup here on the objective. It's a tough recontest. Dropping down into that is just nasty. You got to try if you're the defense. I think the Grav only finding that kill onto Nyanza was a bit unfortunate there for Tapire. I think hoping to get more with that. Seems like such a big ultimate. But you know what? Huge economy for Tapire's defense. Overclock down this long stretch at the start of point C. Very nice. Opens up a lot of space. You see Gemini push so far forward, but now stands amidst an enemy Kitsune rush. Rally there to try to keep them alive, but there's so much burst damage coming in. The rally is not going to be enough. Magically does have to jump back out to get some heals. And meanwhile, you've had Kurama and Spingar able to trade out. Put 2 kills on the board. Suddenly a massive advantage swinging here for Tapire's defense, even not having Gemini on the battlefield. Magically able to get out of the blizzard, but Kurama is not. Excuse me, Nyanza is not. Orbital right counter punch after the blizzard faded, and immediately Spingar got trapped. You know, we talked about, you know, Spingar is actually using the double slide here as well. You know, we were talking about kind of highlighting their perks earlier, their perk choice earlier. Had the double slide this time. Still couldn't get out of there. Nyanza Blizzard, want to keep an eye on, well, as I say that, Orbital coming out, defense is going to play fast, and you're trying to let them build up that Blizzard in the final seconds. Grabbing Orbital or Monstrous, well played. Good aggressive fight out of the defensive Tapire, throwing in 3 ultimates simultaneously, were able to hold on to the rally just in case things went south. But they beat Nyanza to getting that Blizzard online, which would have been a huge tool to get through the choke. Wonderful read out to Tapire and a big stop here on point C.
Score 0-2. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Remember when you had a bowl cut?
Yes. You didn't want to be hungry.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming.
Okay, teleport across. Able to get Juno and Spingar over. Kurama goes into the Bastion up on the top high ground. Oh, Bastion with the Galactic skin on too. Nice. I haven't seen that yet. Meanwhile, Gemini on card. So it's a 1-2-2 split here to try to break the spawn hold. Gemini will get overwhelmed on the point. What happened here on the flank? Spingar got forced off this flank. Not quite able to find the angle. Good job from Helios' defense using the cart for cover while they overwhelmed Gemini, creating a bit of a mismatch there. Ooh, that knife looked dangerously close to landing. And that would have absolutely been the end of Spingar. Kurama's gonna mow through Naiads and try and escape from the alley side. Five's now alone. Hoping to duck and dodge the way out, but you can't escape the grenade. Say close is close. Close is only good enough in horseshoes and hand grenades, but guess what? Kurama's packing a hand grenade in the pocket. Close counted. We're on the road. Magically off of the JQ. Consider a rush here, and then we swap Diva going right into the back line. Ooh. Great Deadeye. About to say, that felt like it was from the high ground. Now they were just able to set up shop up there. Trying to blade it into an orbital. Virtual gets two before end up getting sliced up. But Akua falls way back in enemy territory. We'll swap over to Genji. Kurama is going to find that kill, and it's going to be another good fight here from Tapire. Now, feels like Tapire have run a couple fights in a row. Still only a minute left on the clock. And we're going to get a fast recontest coming out. Well, they're going to get here in time. They will not. Good disruptor shot from Spengar kind of helped block that top side. Just the slow effect on it was enough to prevent a recontest. Whoop. Did not have the double slide yet. Actually caught the cart, it looked like, with the back end of the slide. Magically doing a good job trying to prevent healing there so the rest of you can focus down Gemini, but the Eraser had its cooldown still. Now he's going to use the jab spin as defense pushes forward with the Kitsune Rush. The Spengar already has the answer. You've got Kurama with a blade in the pocket if they need it as well. Spengar is going to find a couple here. Dash it. Kurama. Kurama goes down. Wu-Wei to spawn. Cart on the road here. Or, excuse me. Akua goes down. Cart on the road here for Spirit. If the defense can get out and set up on either one of these sides, it could create a lot of problems. The Eraser is so stagnant, might not be able to keep up. But so far, Gemini has done a good job of just fortifying here on the top catwalk. Now, the defense does manage to push in on the opposite side, magically able to move in. And that's exactly what the defense wanted to do. They catch Spengar before they're able to regroup back in the safety of that top side, back here in the alley. Now the defense is able to push all the way in. It could push a little too far. Virtual was low, but gets topped up, and here comes Tapire back on the offense. Popping a rally, moving up, trying to take the catwalk. Up onto an electric cowboy that is Naiads. And Naiads are trying to roll in out of the way, but just landed right in front of that rally. So despite Tapire losing a player first in the fight, they're able to kite away and kind of draw Helios outside into the alley area where they reclaim the advantage. So good rotation for everybody but Spengar. Ideally for Tapire, Spengar doesn't get caught on that rotation, but they still make it work. Spengar making a swap, so ult charge doesn't really matter anyway. Terror Surge to protect Virtual from the blade. You gotta love it. That last swipe would have landed, but gets pulled away by the Terror Surge. So magically no chance of getting back in mech. Spingar with a couple of kills there from the Widow on the last 2 kills of the fight, the cleanup phase. Yeah, just starting to get warm. God, speaking of warm, my shirt is like sticking to me. So hot in this office. Orbital and Blade. The attackers have some good weapons, but they're running into a Kitsune Rush. The Orbital just gets nothing. They're not even able to fight in it. And, you know, Corral comes over the top with the... Never even get a chance to pull the play. So, despite what happened, what looked like a good advantage approaching the fortress, with just a Kitsune Rush to defend, it's a good hold and much better value out of the 1 ultimate versus the 2 from the attacking Tapire. 46 seconds to go. Now remember, they don't have to make it all the way in. Box of Victory is just past the choke. Gemini pops 4 to 5, push it in. Both cooldowns actually. Lands 1 with the spear, catches 5, trying to escape the small room. Magically runs our cards to try to stop it. It cannot be stopped. And Tapire, they're able to close it out in the neutral, despite both of the primary engagement ults not working out. Gemini just charges in on the battle cattle and takes over. They will 3-0. Tanuki Tapire are moving on to the grand finals. Big congratulations to Tanuki Tapire. And this squad, this squad that had struggled through 2024 to get anything done in the postseason and only had won 1 playoff match, despite making it to the playoffs through both Season 2 and Season 3. Could only put up 1 win in all of those. Here now find themselves in the grand finals through the winner's bracket. Have not lost a playoff match yet and show no signs of slowing with a 3-0 sweep over Helios in this upper bracket final. Tapire looking dangerous. We already know they're master bound. Man, are they going to be heading up there $1,000 richer? With a champion crown, with a championship belt to boast with. Take a look at some stats from map 3. I mean, it looks pretty darn even. Yeah, I mean, by my eye test, it feels like Tapire actually have more deaths. Gemini and Magically are both very close. Gemini does have more damage by, you know, about 3.5k. But Magically has 7 more elims as a result of that damage. Ends up looking like a very close match on paper. A very close map 3 in particular. I mean, again, I mean, the team fight wins are dead even. Man, I mean, that's a close one. That's a close 3-0. I know it's a cliche, but man, that's a close 3-0. And remember, round 1, Nepal goes all 3 maps, goes 99-99, map 3. We had Suravasa goes all 5 flashpoints, and with, you know, a lot of those flashpoints going down to final fight. And then map 3, you're looking at this team fight sheet, this stat sheet, that it just looks. If you don't have the score on the right hand side and you're like, pick who won this map, like, it would be hard to tell by just the stats. It'd be really hard to tell by just the stats. An extremely close 3, one of the closest 3-0s we've had all season. This is what we're talking about when we say a close 3-0. My goodness. Who's ready for Tanuki Tapire, Iliad Helios, Wizard Ducks, and Iliad Artemis? Let's go, Nogfriend. Take it over. And don't forget the Dill Skunk, says Baz. Oh, this match is getting played tomorrow. No wonder we had cats in chat tonight. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, we had a lot of cats in chat for them to be playing. Okay, so we're done here. We're done here. No other match to worry about. There you go. Tapire finals. Lower bracket semis happening tomorrow. Lower bracket finals happening on Wednesday. That grand finals will take place on Friday.